All right. Hey, welcome everybody back to the Roofr Masterclass series here. Our last one of the year. We got my co-host Nick here coming live from Roofing Process Conference. How's that going over there, Nick?
It's good. It's busy. It's been a really good show. A lot of good vendors over here, so it's been quite the day so far.
Nice. Very cool, man. Yeah, last event of the year, I think for us, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So wrapping up the year at Roofing Process Conference. We've been at what feels like 100 different events this year, and just met a lot of contractors. It's been a good year for us, and a good way to wrap it up there. I'm glad it's a busy show. I know a lot of people are there, so we are here with our last masterclass of the year. We wanted to do something a little different today. We normally showcase the product here and really take a deep dive into the features, but we thought we'd just kind of open it up here and give you guys an opportunity. I know we get a lot of traction in the chats when we do these, and we thought it would be great to just kind of open it up and be able to answer any general questions that anybody may have about Roofer or our take on the industry or whatever you want to ask us, I guess. So Nick and I are at your disposal. I think we had a couple questions come in beforehand, so we will jump into those and have some conversations about a couple of those questions. And then any questions that you guys have, feel free to throw them in the chat here, and we will answer them as they pop up. So
Awesome.
maybe we'll even get Matt Radford to make a guest appearance there in the background.
Have him dive in, see who's the
Yeah.
best at DIY.
Uh-oh. A
So,
DIY,
oh,
a
he heard
DIY
me. Look,
challenge.
I said, "Who's the best at DIY?" Is Pete wants to know. Yeah. But I love this idea. I think it's really cool. I think it's something maybe we should do every year where we can really start to open up like what are people looking for? What are people looking forward to? What people need to see from Roofer? Because we are, and I've been at the show all day, and people have been mentioning how quick and agile we are, how fast we get out with it, things, how much we listen to the customers. So it's sometimes it's a blessing and a curse for our users to know what's coming next because so much is coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got a lot of stuff coming in, and it's crazy. I mean, I've obviously came from another company that did something similar and did not move at nearly half this pace. I mean, it's just unbelievable what our team has been able to accomplish. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the amount of people that we have, but also just with how organized and streamlined this team is and how well they can push stuff out the door. And I think what's up? I think one of the biggest things to note is just how well the team, not only how quickly they're pushing things out, but how good the products are that are coming out. How fine tuned and polished they are coming out the door. Like I think a lot of times, we get in situations where we push things out in a rapid pace, but they break and there's things wrong, and we're trying to figure them out as we go. And contractors are saying, hey, this doesn't work, or this broke something else. So I think it's been incredible to see not only the quickness that they're using, that things are coming out with, but also, how good the products are that are coming out. So
It's pretty impressive. I every time they release something, I'm like, well, that was 10 times better than I could even imagine it. So I was always super happy with that stuff. So it's cool to see. One of the questions I got a lot while I was here, Pete, is one that Amanda actually mentioned on when she said that she did a DIY for one of her real estate friends there,
yeah,
and I had a lot of those questions. I know how much real estate agents hound us for quotes, and they're not always the best lead source, but they're a great relationship to have. If anybody, and this has been my answer here, if anybody is using the instant estimator with Roofer, you can create a link, a instant estimator that is specifically for realtors. You could change the pricing as well in there and share that in the real estate agent groups in there. Share it with customers if they call. You could text it out to them or have a separate landing page or something like that in there and allow real estate customers to get quotes up front. You will know that it's coming from the real estate one, so you could treat that lead differently. And then also, some of those are going to change, and you could build that name around town, being like, hey, it's Amanda from Maven. She always gives us an instant estimate within 30 seconds, and she got a link just for the real estate agent. So they could start sharing that link as well. You could really open it up. So that might be a cool little tip for the future.
yeah, it's funny that you bring that up. I actually had a very similar conversation with Ben from Inc. earlier this week about the same thing. He's got some real estate folks that he's friends with, and that he had some questions about how they could effectively leverage Roofr, and that was exactly what we talked about. Using the instant estimator to that advantage, it really works well for the roofer. Like you said, it's capturing those leads. You know that they're coming from the real estate side, but it also gives the real estate agent a really good tool. Because so many times you go in and you're selling a house, and the customer looks at the roof and thinks like, "Oh, we got to replace the roof. What's that going to cost me?" Or could we
Mhm.
potentially write that into the deal? And now right there on the spot as the real estate agent what the cost of that roof is going to be using your favorite roofer, and you're able to accurately quote that and potentially make it part of the deal. So it's a super powerful tool on both sides of the coin there for sure.
Totally.
Bruce asked a question about QuickBooks integrations and payments. Payments are
Live.
on
Well, close
live-ish.
beta. Yeah.
They are in
um,
beta testing. So we can tell you, Bruce, that we have taken payments through the platform already. The payments are on there that's being tested. Uh, Credit card, ACH, we'll be able to take all different kinds of payments through there. And QuickBooks integration is the next big one for our fintech team. I can tell you that we had conversations over the last few weeks about the QuickBooks integration and the things that we're looking at to make sure that we get it right the first time. And so those are both big things that are coming on the horizon there, but payments is in the product. We're just waiting for it to be tested and flush out any kinks, and then we'll be ready to go.
and the rates are great, Bruce. So we were looking at similar to our measurements being some of the best in the industry. We wanted to kind of repeat that with our payments. So our payment rates for credit card is 2.8% on credit cards for Discover, Mastercard, and Visa, with a 30-cent processing fee. And for our ACH, we're at 0.5% with a max of $40. So some of the best rates in the industry there. I think funding's in 2 days. Is it, Pete?
I
That it gets
believe
in
that's
there?
what it is. Yeah. Yep.
Funding into your bank account in 2 days, and that will all be built in there. But really, really excited. That was a big thing at the Roofing Process Conference this week. It was a lot of talks about the QuickBooks integration, and looking forward to the early part of next year. Something coming down the way, so we'll see.
Yeah. Amanda asked here, one thing is email and texting automations. Again, live, right?
Yes.
email automations are live on the platform as of now. We have some templates already built in there that you can go in and fine tune. We also have the ability for you to go in there and build your own custom templates and automate those. Texting is in the works. I'm not exactly sure the release date on that, but I know that
I heard a
it's on.
solid date, which always worries me when it's a solid
Yeah,
date, because I'm
I
like,
know.
I don't want to say it, but let's
Yeah,
just say January to early February.
yeah.
Amanda, will get you on the open beta for texting.
Yeah, definitely some challenges to work around there now with the whole opt-in thing. Our team has done a phenomenal job of working through all of that and figuring all that out, and is actually building now. So some great stuff. Um, so we got a question here from James. I think this is a great question, Nick. Do you have any tips on dragging tech challenged staff into the 21st century?
Yeah, that is a great one. As a tech challenged person myself, I really think it comes down to like training and SOPs. Process Pete can answer on SOPs a little bit better, but what's beautiful about the Roofer system is through you can create each stage has automated tasks, and they have to complete these tasks to go through. Because if they complete the task and then don't do the task, you know where the breakdown was. So that I think is really important, and walking them through that. And then also taking it easy with them with the training, like slowly bring them through, find out where they're things that they're good on, focus on those wins, celebrate those wins so that they feel better about it and they're not discouraged. It's easy to get discouraged there, and bring it through a little bit more with where their challenges and focus in on that. With that being said, our team would be happy for any tech challenge stuff in Roofr. Set up multiple trainings with our CSMs and our implementation. We could build that all out with you guys as well. But Pete, what are your thoughts on that actual flow with the SOPs and everything built in?
Yeah, one of the things that I'm a huge fan of when you have a staff who's maybe coming to tech for the first time is to gradually introduce it, right? Just because you have a CRM and it has tons of functionality doesn't mean that you have to turn it all loose at the same time on your staff. One of the things that we used to do at my former company is we would tell people, hey, first, just start entering your leads into the CRM. Enter your leads in there, maybe do one function with them, maybe upload some photos or maybe, order your measurement through there, something simple, right? And just keep it very straightforward and easy to just get the team accustomed to putting leads in the system and starting to get the feel for it. And then start to introduce the rest of it, like building proposals and using templates and, sending automated emails and all that stuff can come later on. I think that, sometimes what we try to do is, hey, we're taking our whole entire process and we're digitizing it now on this new CRM. And it's overwhelming, right? It's a lot of features, it's a lot of tasks, and to the tech challenged staff, it may look like it's creating work rather than streamlining the process. And I think if you time release it and you take like one piece of their job and you say, okay, instead of doing this manually, we're going to do it in the CRM or we're going to do it on this platform, it allows them to comfortably get used to that, realize that there's value in using it, right? And be able to then transition them over to more and more features as they go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that's a big thing in kind of slowly introducing it, because otherwise it's difficult, right? You don't want to discourage them. You don't want to go overwhelming and stuff. And then if you discourage it, it's going to just push them further away from it and increase that learning curve. And you want to get people to embrace the tech rather than take it apart. It took me a while, James. It took me a while to get into tech. It took me a while to get my dad into the tech. His son works for this company. So, but now once he's in it, he's like customizing templates. He's building this out. Like he only asks me for help when it's a complicated blueprint to draw. That's the only time he asks me to help. And he's like a roofer's roofer who's been running his company for 30 years. So it's in there.
We got a comment here by Richard about calendar and scheduling. Richard, that is something probably in the first half of this year that's coming. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that. Team's putting a lot of time and effort into researching that and really figuring that out for the best case scenario here to put the best product out. So obviously a lot of nuances that go into that. It's not as easy as just throwing stuff on Google Calendar, especially when it comes to production. So the team is doing a lot of work on that, and I would expect something in the first half of 2024 to come out as far as calendar goes.
Yeah, there'll be some good hacks with that too, with the instant estimator update that we have coming up in the first half of January, where you'll be able to put in some foreign calendars in there to book stuff directly from there. But there's some things that we'll get there. But like Pete said, we want to make sure that like we deliver properly. Like at the beginning of this masterclass, we talked about how fast and agile we are, but how good the products normally are when we release them. We want to make sure that it's legit. So it ties into like Richard and Amanda. I know that we're both talking about two different things. Richard, we've talked a lot about scheduling, and Amanda, you mentioned who can we have a convo about getting you on that beta. Just message me. You got my number. So we'll be able to help out with that. But we want to make sure that we hear from roofers on what they feel about it while we're building it out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole reason that we're putting this stuff in beta is so that we can get feedback and really fine tune this stuff, before we just open it up to everybody. We got a lot of beta stuff going on right now. If you log into your platform, you'll see there's a lot of things in beta. Feedback from you guys is critical to making that stuff successful and making it work the way we need it to. And so anytime you guys want to be involved with anything from a beta situation, feel free to reach out to us, either your customer success manager or Nick or myself, and we can help you get into that program. So we got a question here from Bruce. Any word on integrations with other financing companies?
Pete, what you got?
That's a great question. When we built the initial integration there, the idea for that was to essentially set it up in a way that we could plug and play. We haven't gone ahead and turned that on yet. I know we gathered a lot of information in regards to that, but I would say that probably over the next over the next half a year or so, they'd definitely be looking, at the ability to open that up and add in some more integration partners. I know that we on the fintech side have had some conversations, and we'll continue to have some conversations with some of the the newer and popular financing companies that are out there. I see Upgrade listed there. That's one of a few, I think, that are shining at the moment on the financing side. So we'll get some conversations going there, and we'll be able to turn some of those integrations on. Now, I believe you do have a workaround for that, Nick, right? When it comes to proposals.
With the with proposals and soon to be instant estimator as well.
Correct.
We'll be able to put that financing link in. So with the proposals, if anybody's using any of the text sections, you can create a hyperlink and put it in there. Maybe even for the emails, you could have that built in there with the CTA. We have some really nice CTAs so we can build in for these emails as well. And then ultimately with the instant estimator, with the new redesign that's going to be coming out in the early half of January, will allow you to put in any any instant link towards getting approved for financing directly beside those options. So think about amount of pre-approvals you can get with whether it's GoodLeap, Upgrade, Service Finance, Moment, whatever the case is. Drop those links in, and you'll be able to pull it right through.
Yeah, awesome. That's going to be a great added bonus to that. So the question here from David, I think it's a good question. He said, my company is coming over from AccuLinks to Roofr. Any advice? Is there anything specifically, Nick, that you can think of that David should be looking at?
Lots. Number one, welcome. Excited to have you. And really, my first advice is spend your time comes with the subscription with your implementation team and your customer success team. They're going to be here to help you set up everything, help you find those nuances, those tricks, those everything in there, and also build out your templates and your automations for you. Those guys and girls are going to help you step up right away. The other thing is, and I'm going to refer back to James, who said in a comment earlier about baby steps. Baby steps on that pathway through. We're in a good part where it's like the slow season, David. So we have some time to kind of baby step this in, but really kind of make sure that you know and understand the tool and know what you're going to be looking for. And the third one might surprise you. I wouldn't shut down AccuLinks altogether. I would keep a seat open. Have that for your legacy clients. Have that for some stuff in there because there might be some things that you need in there that we won't have right away, or that they won't allow you to remove right away from AccuLinks. So those are some of mine. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting transition, right? I think that you're going to find the flexibility here to be a good, a refreshing change. The ability to really kind of set some of that stuff up. I mean, we would love to get feedback. Obviously, you're coming from a platform that's very well established. There's going to be things that you probably, loved and did not like about that platform, and we want to know both, right? I think that that's huge in helping us to steer the platform to the way you guys want it. And yeah, I mean, I think that, the thing about it is, I think the biggest advantages that you'll see, the biggest advice I would have is, like Nick said, leverage our team, really get your proposals built out. Take advantage of the fact that we have the presentation style proposal tool to build out a really nice presentation that your guys could use either in-house or if they're sending it off. We did a little series, a mini series with Corey Combs, one of our power users, and he did a great job of really laying out how to do that. I believe they're on our website, right, Nick?
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I actually, is it on the website?
I don't know. Is it on the master on with the podcast and stuff? I'm not sure, but if not, we'll try to get it there, and then that way you guys can jump on there and check that out, because it really is some great information. And the way he set things up there, I would say take advantage, leverage our team, get your catalog really dialed in, so that you can get some really quality templates built and get the ball rolling there. And I think you'll find it to be really, really functional and easy to use.
We have one of them up. It's actually our
Okay.
masterclass there, but because we did it separately, I think we got to
We'll have to grab those.
grab it and add them in.
I have
That
them.
was a 3-part series that was just
It was.
fire. It was so good.
Yeah, it's great information. So we'll grab those. I believe we have them. I believe they were on our platform, so we have them.
Yeah.
We just got to get them up there. So we'll do that. Jamie's got some questions here. He says the ability to completely remove an invoice when I make a mistake instead of having to void it, and the ability to change the invoice number to a custom number. That's great feedback, Jamie. I can tell you that I did have a conversation on the product side about 2 weeks ago We're talking about deleting versus archiving versus voiding and the differences of those and where they apply in the platform. So we are definitely giving that a lot of thought and figuring out exactly where you need to have different types of functionality and what warrants being able to be deleted and what warrants not being able to be deleted and being potentially voided instead. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I'll let them know though for sure that that's something that you guys are looking for. The ability to change an invoice number to a custom number, I like. Definitely add that along. I know that our invoice numbers are auto generating, so I can see where we would want to add that in there. Amanda asks, when do we expect a data export function? The ability to push data out. So data export, I'm not exactly sure what data you're looking to export, but we do have plans to set that up to where you guys can easily move the data, not only into our platform, but also out if you need to. I know a lot of people like to put their data into Excel to run reports and things like that. So we are looking to do both importing and exporting for you guys so that you can easily move your information around. We don't think that we should hold anything hostage. So we will give you that ability.
That's a good one. We definitely don't want to hold anything hostage like other people tend to do sometimes. But what's really cool is currently in payments and invoices, you can export all that data through CSV currently. So that's live for you, Amanda. I don't know how if you're using the invoice and payments yet, but that's live. And yeah, the guy that we coming in to do this work for us and build out our data migration, import and export is a freaking rock star in the CRM industry. So we're going at we very happy we landed him, and it's going to be really really good fit. So I think he starts next week actually.
I believe he does. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's perfect. So he'll be hitting the ground running and getting this out as fast as possible because we know how much you guys like it.
Yeah, Samuel's got a great comment here. He said he's getting insurance claims approved at a much faster rate without even having to even meet with the adjusters now that he's using us. So
That's
thank you for
unreal.
that. Yeah, thank you for that, Samuel. That's super cool, man. Appreciate that. The ability to select options on our proposals into the invoice. So select all the options. Oh, I think I missed one. Yes, you're right. I did. Amanda, I did read that and skimmed right over it. I think that she said on the pricing side of the proposal, any idea if it's in the works to add monthly payment options in addition to the actual full cost? So you're talking about the ability to add monthly payments to the bottom line. We currently have that set up if you're using the integration with our current financing situation there. So I'm assuming that we'll be able to do that once we have the ability to add the other financing partners. Because the way that is set up, you select the rate, and it will instantly turn the bottom line price or the actual customer's facing price into monthly payments for you. So I'm assuming that it'll work the same for the other financing partners once we integrate them into the platform, and you'll be able to quickly toggle between showing the full cost or showing the monthly payment instead, depending on how you lead with it in your sale.
Cool.
Yeah, Daniel, I agree. I definitely think that it helps, that being able to export some data, into some other platforms currently until we get some of this stuff built out a little bit more. So Bruce, I'll have to take a look at that. That's a good one. Bruce said that he wants to be able to select all the options on a proposal and have them flow over into an invoice that you currently can only select one option. So I will definitely pass that along. That's not something that I've actually tried myself, so I'll have to play with it and then share that information with the team.
I'm actually trying it out as we speak. Oh yeah, you can only select one of those options. You could get both closed one options, but you have to do just one. So okay, that's a good feedback. We'll bring that directly to the team.
Yeah, I like that one. And Amanda, I do agree that we will definitely, it'd be cool to have it as a good, better, and best in each one of them show. And I believe that it is set up that way, right, Nick? If you have options on it and you have the financing option selected, that it will turn all three options into a monthly payment. So
Correct. Yeah. We got to definitely make that like The hard part is I was actually talking to the team about this, and I didn't realize, but like getting average APR rates, I think it's what it's called, is the hard part to kind of get that in.
Yes.
You'd have to put in your own kind of ranges, which
Yeah.
there might be ability to do it, but it's that was the weird part, because I said, why don't we just have that there and they could put in whatever financing they want. They mentioned that part where just like the APR rates vary so much from company to company and state to state, area to area.
Yeah. Yeah. And even contractor to contractor, sometimes they have
Mm-hmm.
negotiated different rates. So having the ability to pull that contractor specific rates can be a little tricky at times.
Cool.
A freehand area to draw walls for siding. So the ability to freehand draw on the DIY report. I like that, Bruce. I don't know
Yeah.
if that one's come up.
There's a hack to it, Bruce, but it's a crappy hack because like you only do one wall at a time. So I can do one wall. It's just you take a photo of it far enough away. You set the scale just like you're doing any drone there, and you could draw that out, draw out the windows and stuff like that. But there's no customizable lines, so you're using like eaves for the edges, and I would map it to J trim and stuff like that. But yeah, siding labels would really help with that. And then
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
combining all four walls, which is the difficult part.
Nice. He already does that. He said, that's cool.
Man, you're so smart.
He's ahead of us.
Yeah.
I think it's a great. James brought up labels, so I'll just talk quickly to that. We have had some conversations internally about being able to label some things and drop some pins on DIY drawings. So I can tell you guys that is something that's in the works, and will probably be out, sometime in the beginning of this next year. The team is currently taking a look at that and seeing what we can do there to kind of help you guys be able to identify some stuff on your DIY drawings.
James, that's genius.
Yes.
I never did you see my face when I read that? I was like, what?
Yeah. I've never thought of that. That's actually really super smart.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Richard, this will be, that's exactly what I was talking about. We're looking at the ability to essentially drop pins onto obstructions or penetrations and be able to potentially label them as such, depending on what they are. So
I know one of the parapet wall height. Yeah, dude.
yeah.
That would be really good too. Right now, if anybody's want to use like a hack that I see most of our commercial users doing, is they find a percentage line on what the waste would be for each one. So typically you're seeing like 2, 4, and 6 foot parapet heights on a regular commercial building. So they're finding a percentage line on there. So maybe it's like the 2 foot is like a 5% increase. So they increase the waste by 5, and then so on and so forth, and everything else there too. Matt, do you have any questions for Pete on the Roofr Masterclass? I have a lot of great questions in there. So
I've got a question for you, Matt.
Oh, he's got a question for you.
Oh, who does?
You ready?
Pete. Yeah, Pete's
Okay.
ready.
Dimitri or Lee?
He said Dimitri or Lee.
Dimitri.
He calls Dimitri. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Okay, he's put his money on Dimitri. All
I'm telling
right.
you, I saw Dimitri like a couple minutes ago, and he looks fit. So
Well, he cut weight like crazy.
yeah, he's
So
ripped.
he's definitely going to be ripped for sure. Yeah.
I'm just gonna let you know I'm not fighting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's Matt versus Nick now. So I saw one thing that came up a lot, Pete. I don't know if like today, and I know Matt's probably heard it a bunch too. Is a lot of people were asking about the Roofr app. So
Yes.
tell us what you're thinking there.
Yeah. I think the Roofr app obviously has been something that we've been asked for since measurements came out, right?
Yeah.
Before any of this stuff was built, right? As one of the early on things. So, we've done a really good job. I think the program is set up in a way that is very functional on the mobile device as it is. So the team has been really diving deep into what we would need on an app, what capabilities we would need on an app, and then how to best handle that. So I can tell you that there is a ton of research being done and that there is a plan to build an app at Roofr. So that's big news,
coming.
right? that's big news, I'm sure, for a lot of people. But yes, the plan is to build an app. And like I said, right now it's just a matter of fine tuning it and figuring out, when what that app is going to entail, what the capabilities are going to be on the app, and then how that flows and what it looks like. So
Andy Scott Webster.
Andy, what's up, Andy? Sneaking in the bag there.
One of the cool things I'll mention, so with the app that we've been looking at, so I was thankful enough to be at the office during a design blitz that they were building it out. So we went through everything, looked at the different options. I got to see that from a product side for the first time, which was really cool. But all of our product designers working together, and I'll let you know that the plan is, and Pete knows as well, that the app's not just going to be like our app. Like, it's not just going to be our tool. There's going to be some features in there specifically for everybody else. Because like right now, you could have a web-based app for Roofr, and it works very well. But obviously, we want offline sourcing and stuff like that. So this would open up a bunch of different options in there outside of just the Roofr platform itself.
Oh, I have a question.
Ooh, Matt has a question.
A question that came up today is, will there be the option to edit the final price?
Will there be an option to edit the final price on a proposal? Yeah. So after it's won, I would assume?
Yeah, after it's won.
After it's won. Yeah. That's a great question. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, right? So I can tell you that in my experience, one of the things that we ran into was that once it depends, right? So if it's sent and it's still in the draft stage, then yes, it could potentially be edited. Where you run into a gray area is if that proposal was to get signed, then it essentially has to lock it. And then, everything would have to be done through more or less through another proposal or through a change order. There are specific states that require you to retain the original copy and the addition of the options, if the price has changed. So they have to be essentially two separate documents. So it becomes kind of a gray area depending on where you're at, where you're working. It's a great question. I think it comes up pretty often, the ability to just quickly go in and change the price. I know that there is some need sometimes for, if a proposal is created before we send it off to the customer to just go in and maybe tweak that price or round it off or whatever the case may be. So I definitely see a use case where that could be. I know the team has talked about the ability to just change the bottom line price really quick and have an edit feature there. So I'll remind Lane of that on our side and let him deal with all of the nuances of that one.
A great hack on that too is we have that copy proposal button. They open that up and have that there, and change like the first page as a cover page to be like, hey, Mr. Customer, as discussed, here are the edits to this. Please select the options that you want to go for and do that. So you can make a quick edit text section at the front, so you can send that out until we have the change orders things built out, and that'll be great. So.
Yeah, I like this question by Vincent. He said the ability to scale out the DIY map drawings a little further, because they're in such a rural area that sometimes the houses are up to a half a mile off the road.
That's crazy. So I think one of the ways you can do that is that I think this is better. Unfortunately, one of the things that I need to show versus say, Matt, do you want to put in your neighbor's address into this?
I don't know my neighbor's address.
We'll put your address +1. I didn't want to show them your address.
It doesn't work like that. We have fire. Our addresses are like 6 numbers long.
Okay, I'm gonna do my dad's house because it's further in the back. By my dad's house, I mean not my dad's house. So don't follow. I needed a farm one, something far off the road. So, all right. So if I'm in the measurement tool here, everyone, and I go to, actually, this is a good opportunity. I know this address, Lloydtown. Matt said, do you want me to draw it for you? Can you see my screen, Pete?
I can, yes.
Okay, cool. So if I'm using this here, and this is a great question, Vincent, because often, there can be like half a mile off the road. So look, like this is a farm, and it pinned it right in the middle of nowhere. Now, what I can do is I can hit this minus button and zoom out a little bit here as we go, but I'm still in the middle of the field. And then it gets to a point, like Vincent says, that you can't zoom out anymore. It just gets to the point where that's it. Like that was the last one, and I have this. But what if the house is further out and it's too kind of far in this part? What I can do is I could actually recenter everything. So I could actually zoom out and say that this is the house far off the road, and it's way back here, and I can go to confirm it now and set that up. And now I have a new view directly in here, and I could rescale it and empty it a little bit like that. So now I can draw that out. Fun fact, this house has really weird statues all inside this like forest area. I used to walk there as a kid, but Does that help out Vincent at all?
Yeah, I think the ability to recenter is something that maybe a lot of people don't realize you even have the ability to do on there. So
Yeah.
So a great workaround for that, able to fix that.
By the way, if your name is Roof Rider after Rough Riders, that's just fantastic. I'm just huge fan.
So Amanda asked, is there anyone on our team that's currently working on the photo feature to make it better? It's a bit clunky. Amanda, I would say one way is that if you use Company Cam, we can bring in Company Cam photos, which makes that a little bit cleaner. You can store the photos there and just bring over the ones you want and want to use. We are streamlining it a bit to where you'll be able to bring those photos into the job itself and then use them. And I believe they just re-edited or redid, right? What would be the correct terminology for that? Enhanced, I guess, right? The photo feature functionality on the proposal tool to be a little bit cleaner and easier to use. Just released that last week?
Last week, so that should have updated. And a big update today was that we upped our, if you're on the elite plan, the files amount that you could do, it went from 50 to 500 on the elite. So 50 is a max of is the max on premium, and 500 attachments is the max on elite. But we will have that stuff opened up. I think it's slated for Q2 or Q3. I can't remember, so don't quote me on it. But for like a reorganization of the attachments area, so that we can have a little bit easier on that as well.
Love that idea. I love the idea that Amanda threw in there of adding notes while you're in proposals, the ability to potentially access the job notes while you're in the proposal tool so that those notes can be added. That's a great idea, Amanda. I'll definitely write that one down and add it. Options. Richard said he needs the ability to create an estimate option and then be able to copy and paste that option into a different template. Currently, if I build out a new option, I can only use it in the template it was built in. I'd like to be able to build options and then click a button to upload various options into any template.
Interesting. So I think we can do that. Here, I'm going to share my screen again. I think I know what you're talking about, Richard, but you're going to have to confirm for me. So if I am in any proposal, it's also really weird doing a masterclass from
in the middle of a show
in a hall, because I hear like jazz music through my headphones. It's just like playing over, so it's like throwing me off. But all right, loader up. You can do it. Internet. Boo. This is what happens at the end of the day. So anyways, you see this, like it's loading, but the estimate here is here. There's usually a little plus button here, and you can, oh, here we are. So if I want to do, it's actually the opposite of what you said, Richard. So if I'm in a template and I'm building out a proposal, I got all these values already built in, right? And I go to plus and I want to bring something in from another template, I can go in and pull something from this other template. So whatever template it might be. So maybe it's a snow removal one, right? I want to pull something in. I could bring in all three of these options and upload them in. Not only that, but it's actually going to map everything over as well. So it's going to bring in the items and map it all the way over. If I don't need one, I can delete it. So that's one of the ways that we could do it. Or you could bring out the options like this, where you can add in, maybe I just want to do a GAF option here. So I add that GAF. I'm going to go from single option and import that over. And again, it will auto-populate through there. Hopefully that is what it's. I know it's backwards from what we were looking at, but is that the same thing?
I think so.
Cool.
It looked like it to me. It looked like it made sense to do it that way.
Sweet. What other questions do we have in here? I love the people helping out people in the comments right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is cool. Some great feedback on the company cam. I'm wondering if the ability to add more files is going to help with that company cam issue that Sam said he had there.
Yeah.
with the PDF being too big, that could help that. What would you say, Nick, is the feature that you are most excited about that we're adding in 2024?
Well, there's 3, and I'll rank them. So number 1, 100% is the calendar. Like when the calendar's here, I might cry a little bit.
I will definitely cry. I will definitely shed a tear. As Nick
feed
knows, I have preached about calendar
for like 2 years.
Probably 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's like it's Pete's bane of his existence. So,
Yeah.
so I'll be so excited for that because it's just going to unlock so many things for our customers as well, and really be able to flow that as well. So it's going to be really easy there. So there is that. Number 2 is the updates that we have coming to the Instant Estimator, the new layout, the secret things that are coming out with it, which I can't mention, and that stuff. And then also the multi-building capture, all the customization. It's so already such a powerful tool, and it's just going to get more powerful. So that's really cool. And number 3 is a tie. It's a tie between our integrations with our suppliers. So starting off with ABC in Q2, Beacon in Q3, and SRS in Q4. And one that I think we're allowed talking about, but I'm just going to be vague for the sake of being vague. It's a really cool measurement feature that you guys all have been asking for a very long time, and it has 3 letters in it. So that's coming out. We're building that in, and it's going to be really exciting to have that built out. So you guys could guess what those 3 letters are, but it's based for insurance. So
yeah.
What about you, Pete?
No, I mean, I think obviously calendar is number 1 on my list. That's, like you said, I've been preaching about it for a couple years, pretty much since we added proposals and Instant Estimator. I think that's something that I've looked forward to. But like I said, there's a lot of work that goes into that, a lot of research that's being done on the back end to make sure we get that right the first time. And I respect that with the team. And we've really gone back and forth on a number of things. There he is. What's up, John?
We're doing a live masterclass. Do you have any Roofr questions for us?
Hard-hitting Roofr questions.
It's the AMA. Yeah. We've been talking about the app. We've been talking about calendar integration. We've been talking about Instant Estimator, all that stuff.
So I'd say my question would be on the production scheduling side. Like how soon will you guys have like work orders and material orders?
John said, how soon will we have, it's all in production. How soon will we'll have work orders and material orders? Material orders just came out. It's in open beta, so I can show you tomorrow, actually. Yeah. But work orders, Pete, do you have any news on that?
No, I don't, honestly. I mean, I think that's a good one. I think that the whole calendar thing will probably come first and in that be along with it. But obviously having the ability to do production scheduling is a huge piece for us. And, and being able to get that in there. So like I said, it's definitely number 1 on my list. I would say number 2 for me would definitely be the supplier integrations. Looking forward to those just because of they're a game changer for setup time and catalog. And, they just give you so much flexibility when you're adding your templates and all of those things in there. They really streamline that process and definitely help with pricing and costing. So, and I like that they're going to, in turn, they're going to make our product take a step up, especially the catalog, because we're going to have to house a little bit more information. So we're going to get some really cool catalog upgrades to be able to work, simultaneously with them. So, in synergy with those platforms. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to those. And I'm really excited to see improvements this year in the Instant Estimator. I think that product is got so many use cases, and it's been, such a key player for us. So many different uses I've seen of it, and the way contractors have leveraged it and utilized it out in the field has been really impressive to watch. And, as it continues to get better and better, just see more and more ways to utilize it. So really looking forward to seeing what happens with the IE in the next year. But yeah, I'm really excited for the CRM to just become, just to become very, very sound. I think we've done an awesome job. There he is. We've done an awesome job of being able to pump out these features, and just really, really excited for the team to continue building.
Bruce Boyd, John Broche says hi.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, those things are super exciting. Great question by Daniel. Custom job boards and tasks.
This is awesome. Yeah. Love this one. So we are actually in the phase right now of getting ready to start building custom fields and custom job boards. And what we mean by custom job boards is actually having the ability to build not only a custom job board, but multiple job boards. So if you are a contractor that potentially does, retail, insurance, new construction, has a maintenance department, all of these things, you would be able to put all of those things and have their own job boards, right? So they would have their own flows inside the product that you'll easily be able to maneuver through and filter, see them all, see one, whatever the case may be. So really, really looking forward to that. That's actually one that I completely forgot about until you just brought it
me
up.
too.
Well, that
I
will
was
be
so excited when they
huge.
showed us, and it was me and
Yeah.
you and Dale. I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, this is so cool.
Yeah, that's an absolutely huge one. I think it's something that the industry has needed a really good way to do for a while. And I think that we're really, based on what Nick and I saw from the team, I think we're nailing it. I mean, it looks really good, really easy to use, really easy to set up. Having those custom job boards, having the ability to have multiple job boards based on the trade, the type of jobs that you're doing, I think is going to be huge. So that's coming very shortly here, Dan. I would hang out and keep an eye out for that. We'll let you know. But
is Daniel looking at our release calendar and asking questions?
I know,
number
right?
2 is like right. So Daniel, number 1 is slated to be like end of January, early February. So that whole thing that we just talked about. Number 2, Pete, take it away.
Can there be an option to set a specific time for a task? Yeah, we're going to be able to dial all that in. One of the main things with that is with the automations of emails and stuff, it's putting us in a situation where we're going to be able to automate those based on some time release stuff. And so with that in process, that will allow us to start to set some of those more specific date and times on the tasks. Task list to look at. Yeah, this is a great question. We are actually in the process as well of building, probably in Q1 here. We're going to build what we call home, which will essentially be a dashboard, a configurable dashboard for the contractor. And a main piece of that will be a master task list where you'll be able to filter those tasks, be able to see what your team's got overdue, and and just kind of take a look at a glance to see what you got going on with all the jobs. So Q1 for that, for CRM home, and keep an eye on that. So Boyd permissions, yes, that's a big one too. That is actually conversations are already being had around that. The ability to set permissions. I'll tell you, one of the things that I lobby hard for is groups, being able to essentially set a specific group, sales, production, back office, and be able to quickly assign those, have permissions set by the group rather than the individual, and be able to just drop people in there. I think will make it quick and easy. So the team's looking at some of that stuff. Yep, we're definitely working on that.
Custom color job. Thule, I want to learn more about that because you were not the first person to ask me about that, and
I think he's talking about multiple job flows, right, based on job type. So yeah, Richard, that's a huge one. That's what Nick and I just looked at with the team like a week or two ago. The ability to have these custom job boards, separate job boards based on the job type, and then be able to easily filter through them.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yes, Nicholas, that's correct. He's got an in. He's got an in with the product team. That's
I know.
why
Already talking to Virginia, and
that's
she's
why he's got all
too,
these hard-hitting questions.
Well done. Red boards for retail, blue boards for insurance, and stuff like that. Cool.
Yeah, I do like that, Richard. We did something similar at my former company. We allowed you to color code the workflow, so we would have it actually by the department that was responsible. Green was sales and red was production, whatever you wanted to call it. So I love the color coding. I think it makes it really easy for your team to jump in there and know where they're at. So definitely something we can look at for sure.
I think the thing on the tail of that too that is interesting as well is two things: is tags that I know that you guys are working on the product
Yes.
side, and then also on the point of having like who's responsible with permissions. And Nicholas asked before there is being able to assign multiple people per job was another question that I got a lot here today as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's I think it's one of those things because I think traditionally when you look at CRMs, you had a more or less one opportunity. I know that in my former company, you had like one opportunity to really assign people. There wasn't a way to tag somebody and hand a job off. So you
Mm-hmm.
had to more or less tag everyone that was going to potentially be involved with the job down the road, whether that be the production manager, the accountant, the back office person. You had to tag them all up front so that they would have visibility on the job. I think that we're going to do a slightly better job of that with our tagging system to be able to tag folks in and be able to have the people that are being responsible down the line just be kind of tagged in rather than having to be added at the very beginning and have visibility potentially at jobs when they don't need to. So that's one of the things that we've talked about before. So yeah, that's one of the things that hopefully we can improve on over the traditional way that it's been done in the industry so far.
That's fantastic. Any other questions before? What time is it? 5:51. We got a couple minutes left. Do you
Yeah.
want me to? You got one?
Yeah.
What?
Any planned cities for Roofr Rise this year?
Any planned cities for
Ooh.
Roofr Rise? That is a great one.
I don't know.
Well,
Matt works in marketing. He should
yeah,
have the
you work in
secret.
marketing. You should know.
Like, what are you asking me for?
This is sales and product. Go ask us maybe any of those guys if they have any questions about Roofr.
Yeah, I
We'll
don't even
see.
get
But
invited to the marketing meetings anymore. So
yeah, Pete's also upset that he's not invited to the marketing
yeah,
meetings anymore. So
yeah, I'm not cool enough to be at the marketing meeting, so I would have no idea.
Chicago would be great. Jersey City would be great, Amanda. That's going to be awesome. But my suggestions, he's asking away. My suggestions were something in Ohio because we haven't done, like there's nobody.
Ooh.
Ohio gets no love, so like a Columbus or something. I'm biased, but Toronto, Canada gets none of this, and I feel like we really need to work on being better business owners and business people in Canada when it comes to roofing. I would love like a Nashville, Chicago. Want to do like Phoenix as well, maybe. Like those are some of the ideas I had for around there. What about you?
I think the Hawaii roofers need some love. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, Pete, that's a great thing that you mentioned. Would you like to go to Hawaii for Roofr Rise? The rest of our team here would like to go to Hawaii.
I'm thinking. I know some roofers there. I think we should definitely plan that.
We should definitely go. Amanda, you're speaking at our Hawaii.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't worry. So that would be really, really fun there. So, but yeah, I think that's about it. Matt's coming on his way back, but he's slow, so I don't think he has any questions. It's like the end of the day here.
Yeah, I
But
think.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Pete. He looked at me and turned, and he's
he
gone.
ran.
He's just disappeared.
Yeah, I would love to see. I would love to see another Midwest. I thought Minnesota was a really cool destination for us. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I think. Trying to think of where else. I thought of some other places that I thought would be cool. Hawaii, I thought would be great, but I'm kidding. Let's think. I don't know. What's some other places can you think of? Oh, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh was one that I thought is a big market. It's a big roofing market. I thought that would be a cool spot to maybe have one.
Something in like the Northeast, like they just don't get any love. Like whether it's like a like
Disney. I like Disney.
whether Disney would be fantastic. San Diego was one. We did one in Carlsbad last year, just outside of there. But yeah, Pittsburgh would be great. I think we could think of a couple speakers for Pittsburgh. Maybe one that might be in the chat right now, and I don't know where he is because he was right beside me.
He went back. He went back and logged in really quick.
He's probably just like over here at his booth. So, but yeah, that all would be really, really cool to kind of do. So, but hey, I love this idea for the masterclass with an AMA opening that up. It's good timing for me to be at an event too because I got a lot of feedback today during it. So, I was able to open it up. What's the thing that you're most excited for the next 2 weeks, Pete? We're done work in 2 weeks.
I know. Yeah. No, it's obviously it'll be nice to have a little break. We've been doing, you and I both have done a lot of traveling this year for
Mhm.
Roofr, and visited a lot of cool places, done a lot of shows, and it's nice to have a little downtime and then ramp back up, as we go into the new year.
Yeah.
Obviously we'll have IRE coming, and then shortly after that, I think we'll have a Rise 2024 tour kicking off. So so it's nice to get some downtime with the family and hang out, and then and then ramp up for 2024. Let me ask you, Nick, what do you think will be the most impactful change we'll see to the roofing industry in 2024?
I have a. I want to say something, but I'm expecting half the chat to like tear me a new one. I honestly think that this is the year where retail makes the biggest jump in the industry. Um, I think that the insurance companies are going to come down with some extra stuff this year and really put a wrench where you guys have to find more loopholes and stuff, which is rougher on you guys. They're already making you guys wait longer for the mortgage payments and everything. If you don't want to wait that long, a company called Inc. can help you with that. One of our friends over there. But I really think that you're going to see a big push into retail, a big opening where people who were 100% insurance are going to be doing like maybe 80-20 to 70-30 and so on. But I think that's going to be a big thing. And the importance of speed to lead and presentation and education is going to be huge in that. So that's my thought. I could be off.
I like it. I like it.
What about you?
Yeah, I would say I think it's going to be like, again, this may hit a nerve here, but I think it's going to be like the year of the roll up, right? I think that it's going to be a lot of consolidation across the industry, both on the contractor side as well as on the tech side of the business. And I think that you've got some big players moving around in the industry, and I think that we could start to see some things kind of coming together, and maybe some of the smaller platforms becoming part of the bigger platforms, and so on and so on. So yeah, I think it could be a very interesting year as to how it all kind of comes together.
Yeah, it's PE is very interesting. I was talking with actually somebody in the chat about this the other day, but I was also speaking at the last event about it, how PE firms are just kind of starting to realize, and they're understanding that like how valuable construction is, because it's
Yeah.
recession proof for the most part. We work through it, and they can always scale and grow. And it's obviously construction tech is a big look at that. You can see our friends at Leap that bought out Job Progress and stuff like that. Like it's very
Yeah.
interesting for a lot of PE firms, but it's also coming down to your companies. So I could see the rollout being a huge thing this year.
Yeah. Well, man, I want to thank everyone for jumping on. We're about at the end of our time here. This has been great. Lots of great stuff. I appreciate everybody that jumped in the chat and threw some stuff in there. That was fantastic. Hopefully we didn't disappoint here with some updates on some of that stuff. We'll get some things rolling out here. We continue. Our team does a phenomenal job, and they will continue to do that into 2024, rolling out some incredible things. And, looking forward to working with all the contractors on here that have been great, giving us feedback and helping guide the product. And we'll continue to do that into 2024. It's definitely helps with everything that we have going on. And we want to thank everybody. I know Nick and I have done a ton of these this year, and we've had a great turnout in every one and great interaction in the chat. So just want to thank everybody that's tuned in and been on all of these, for participating and for being part of our masterclass series. It definitely makes it a lot of fun for Nick and I to get on here and be able to talk with everybody and show you guys the new stuff. And we hope everybody has a great holiday for all you guys in the States. And we will see you in the new year.
It's gonna be great. Wait, hold on. The States? We don't have Christmas in Canada. We don't get Santa. What the hell?
Yeah. No Santa
North
for the
Pole-
Canadians.
The North Pole is in Canada.
I don't know when you guys celebrate. You probably celebrated in June.
This is insane. I'm calling HR.
I mean, you guys have Thanksgiving in October or something, don't you?
Yeah, I don't understand that one, to be honest. I have no defense over it. It's weird. All right, everyone.
All right,
Thanks so much.
All right. Have a great holiday, everybody. And we will see you in 2024.
See
Thanks,
you, everyone.
everybody.
Bye.
All right.